Hello everybody and welcome to another album review. This is kind of going to be like my last thoughts on Mastodon's Emperor of the Sands. I've been posting everywhere my thoughts on it, whether it be various different groups and talking with my friends and everything. And it seems as though the entire community is really just split down the middle on this one. Half of them really love it and the other half just despise it. And I tend to fall into the later category. I'm not saying that Mastodon are not good musicians or, anything like that. They are totally and utterly always been amazing. But what I will say about this album is that it seems as though Mastodon has really lost the steam and creative juices that they had, with Crack the Sky. I haven't really been that impressed with Mastodon since Crack the Sky. And it just seems, since we stopped the concept albums and we stopped, writing lengthier tunes and really being on the same page, that it's kind of gone into what we might have as a Beatles White Album kind of thing, where, each individual person has their own voice spinning in there, and it doesn't really seem to mix very well in the overall. It also kind of harkens back to, what's happened with Dream Theater. They're a technically amazing band. We all know and love them. That, they are still living off of a legacy of really great albums, that they can keep releasing albums that aren't really up to par with what maybe long-term fans have come to love and admire about the band. And it seems with every progressive release from Mastodon, it's just gotten more and more trimmed down and pop-oriented and more or less convoluted into whatever each individual member is trying to say and get across, which is fine, for a band to try and take it to the next level and do something new with their records, but it really falls short with Emperor of the Skies for some reason. It just doesn't seem as though each individual band member feels like they really want to put forth their best work. There was a lot of talk of Brent Hinds kind of making a double album out of this and writing, everything for it. And that kind of fell through the cracks later on in the game. And it seems as though Brand Daler and Troy Sanders have brought more and more stuff to the table for this album, but it doesn't quite seem like everything fits. Another thing that I kind of do have a problem with this album was the mixing was absolutely atrocious. Each individual vocalist themselves didn't really have their best on-tape appearances. It sounds very muddied and kind of offshot in distance. It's not something that we would have heard on Crack the Sky or Once More Around the Sun. And not to say that, it has to be perfect, but it's kind of disappointing for a Mastodon release when the vocals are very muddied out. I mean, Leviathan, even though there was predominantly screaming in that album, it still came through perfect and almost pristine. The other complaint that I have, and it's a minor one, is that the album artwork isn't really up to par with Mastodon's other efforts. That was a great thing about buying a Mastodon record, is that when you got it, the record sleeve was amazing, and you could actually, feel like you had bought something that was different. This kind of reminds me of a power metal, album cover. It's not very impressive to me. And the inside booklet really doesn't show you a whole lot more other than just a few scenes and some lyrics. So, kind of falls short for me. But there's been a lot of people out there that have totally loved this album and have supported them. And I'm not saying that I won't support Mastodon or I don't love Mastodon at any point. What I'm saying is this album, for me, fell short of the other albums. But, like I also said, they've been kind of falling short for me since Crack the Sky. So we can see if they keep on having, the Dream Theater type running record where each individual album's kind of going to chip away new fans till maybe we probably they do this thing, when they release albums that aren't so great. Oh, it's a comeback of the old sound. And we might see that. You never know. I mean, it's just the same way as Opeth and some of the other more progressive bands that we've come to love and admire. Somewhere in the last 5 years, the albums just haven't been quite up to par. So, I mean, hopefully at some point, because all these bands tend to, tour together and sort of be on the same page, hopefully we can see something generally new and interesting from them. And it's kind of a shame since bands like Baroness, Elder, even Queens of the Stone Age make more interesting albums than the bands that kind of brought this to the forefront. So maybe in some time we might come to find that they'll be releasing better work, but here's to hoping. Anyway, have a great day, and hopefully you enjoyed our album review. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and write a comment down below. Have a great day.